Thank you, Joan. When Dan asked me to give the keynote presentation, I was naturally excited. And I started talking about, well, I'm doing some interesting work with peer instruction in my Computer Science 1 class using clickers. This year I started flipping the classroom, so having some videos before class so students can do active learning inside the class. I'm PI on my campus, where we're doing a survey of 300 STEM faculty to find out why do they choose various instructional practices and what are the barriers to do that. And Dan says, well, that sounds great, Scott, but we actually already have a keynote speaker. I wanted you to speak before the keynote speaker. So I updated my title slide. A little disappointed, but regrouped, got excited again. Opportunity to probably have breakfast with the keynote speaker. Learn more about him. A chance to deliver a poignant yet exciting introduction that would result in the audience standing ovation as he takes the stage. And Dan said, sounds great, Scott, but we actually already have somebody to introduce the keynote speaker. Okay, Dan, so what exactly do you want me to talk about? Had to update my title slide again. So I feel like the flight attendant at the beginning of the flight, trying to get your attention to tell you these mundane details. So what do you need to know today? You need to know how to connect to the wireless if you haven't already. We've got a few late-breaking announcements to share with you. I'm going to tell you about our social media strategy, tell you most importantly about our stepcentral.net that we've been promoting quite a bit, orient you where you are in the hotel and where you'll be trying to go, and then just give you a quick overview of what's going to happen today. Of course, we are hip. We have a social media strategy. We have a Facebook page. We have a Tweety account at Step Central. If you want to tweet about this event sometime over the next 2 days, please use the hashtag up there, NSFStep. Actually, tweets, well, let's first talk about Justin Bieber. Turns out Justin Bieber has the most followers in the world at just under 36 million. Well, I was pleased when I first looked at this slide. It looks like Step Central is a close second with 61 followers. But then I realized I misread that, and it's actually 25 followers. And then Step Central, this non-being, is actually following 61 other folks. So tweets is actually one of our measurements of how active is our community of practice. A minor measure, but a measure nonetheless, something that we can count. So it would be our quantifiable data rather than our qualitative data. And so our goal this year is to double the number of tweets from last year. Excuse me? No, last year we had 1 tweet. And frankly, that was just Dan checking his iPhone to see if it worked. So now let's figure out where you are in this hotel. Some of you may have already discovered, a little confusing, perhaps. So we're all agreed that we are starting here, and then where do we go from here? Now this is why I wanted you to bring out your syllabus. On the back is the map of this floor, and I recommend you pull it out and orient yourself, because I'm going to point out a few places. So right now we are in this area, supposedly. I think I misoriented a little bit, but close enough. And then from here, When we leave out the back door is where the coffee breaks will be. So get some nourishment there before you go on to the first sessions. 12 rooms, 12 meetings, 12 meeting rooms scattered throughout a number of locations. So a few of them are going to be a little harder to find, so I want to point those out to you. That one's probably the hardest. That is, Madison. So if you're looking to go to Madison, recognize that the really best way to go about that, or the only way I've discovered, is you go down this hallway. So this is where you were for breakfast. So really here we are on this, I'll go backward, go back. Here we are really on the left-hand side of this room, and I learned how to do animation in PowerPoint last night, so bear with me. So off to the right there's this, okay, just screw it. So the blue ones are the meeting rooms. The yellow one is the bathroom. But the two I wanted to point out are the Madison in the back right corner there. A little hard to get to. You have to go down a hallway and sort of turn a corner around. And then McKinley in the middle of that middle blue dot, sort of a little tucked away as well. As you go back out the back door, you do the coffee break, leave. You see, it's just not going to work. All right. That's where it'll be for lunch, where you were for breakfast. All right, so that's this floor. Now, unfortunately, 3 of the meeting rooms are not on this floor. Those are the Lincoln rooms. So as you identify one of the 12 sessions that you're going to, and if one of them is Lincoln, this is where you really have to pay attention. All right, show of hands. Why are we paying attention? Looking for the Lincoln room. The Lincoln room is 2 levels down. Now, if you can hear me and you're following along still, I want you to hold up 2 fingers. Now, look at your neighbor, and if they are not holding up 2 fingers, explain to them the importance of the following announcement. 2 levels down, just below us, escalators and stairs combination, will take you to the exhibition hall. Now, in the exhibition hall is where the posters are. So you will look there and say, no, that must not be the right place. That's the posters. It is the right place. So in the exhibition hall, it's primarily posters, but if you go into the exhibition hall, there's 3 more Lincoln meeting rooms there. So go into the poster session and they're off to the left. So remember, if you're looking for Lincoln. And then after those sessions, we do the posters, which will be downstairs as well. So you're either down 2 levels or you're up 2 levels for the entire conference. So I don't get to introduce the keynote speaker, but I do get to introduce the introducer of the keynote speaker. So I'm excited about that. Susan Singer is probably still be relatively new, last month or 2, Division Director of DUE, Division of Undergraduate Education, which sponsors the STEP program and many others. And so she will be introducing our guest speaker. So thank you much.
Anxious to get on and hear what he has to say about what we can all collectively do to move forward with the very good work that all of you are engaged in. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Padron.
I apologize. In addition to the accent of the microphone, I have a little bit of a cold, so let's manage. Before I start, I'd like to ask Scott to stand. Stand and face the audience. There should be no question that this man is in the wrong field. I'm just amazed that Comedy Central, not Step Central, that Comedy Central has not discovered him. So let's give him a big ovation that he expected. I'm very pleased to be here with you today, even though the cold weather doesn't agree with me. You know, I come from sunny Miami. When I left yesterday, it was